Hello, can you hear me? Yeah. It's probably very unusual for a bride to make a speech, but I think there's a lot of things about me that have made me a very unusual bride. So I'm just going to go ahead and make the speech. It's when Conor proposed to me, and we talked about getting married. The first thing I said to him is, yes, let's get married, but let's take it slowly. Now, something got lost in translation there, because we only were engaged for 3 months, and now I'm standing up here making a speech, so we'll have to discuss our communication, I think, at a later stage. That people said your wedding day was the best day of your life, and this kind of concerned me, because I thought, what will happen if it's not the best day of my life, and how can it top some of the best days I've had of my life so far? And when I look around the room here and I see all my friends and family, and I think about the wonderful life I've had so far and the wonderful things I've had, I thought, how can today top all of that? And it hasn't. This whole 4 months and 3 months has just topped everything I could ever have imagined. And it really has been such an emotional roller coaster for both myself and Conor, I think I can say. And I can't help but think of the word humbled, and I genuinely mean that. And this whole 4 months have culminated in today, and with you all being here. And it was unbelievable today to go into Church Town meeting, where I've been going for I don't know how many years, and see all my friends and family there, and all the love and the support that was there. So, because I never have had the chance to publicly thank my parents for everything that they've done for me, so I thought this is probably a pretty perfect opportunity to do that. And I just thought, a lot of you don't know my parents, so I thought I'd tell you a little bit about them, or what it was like growing up with them. So this is getting my own back now, my dad. And what I thought I'd do is I'd compare my parents to the Chinese symbols of yin and yang. And the Chinese symbols of yin and yang to me mean balance. And that's what my parents, I think, gave to both to myself and Nigel and David. And to explain what that means, I want to take you back to a Saturday morning in Kinley, where I'd be down having breakfast before a hockey match. And my mum would come in, and I used to play a bit of hockey, and I suppose I fancied myself a little bit as a hockey player. And my mum would come in, and she'd almost have her teeth gritted, and she'd say, "So, Kath, who's the opposition today?" And I'd say, "Whoever it is." And then she'd start giving me my pep talk, which usually went along the lines of, "Put your stick on the ground and hit the ball hard, and don't let them pass you." And I used to feel she'd just stop short of saying, "And don't come home unless you've won." So I'd leave the kitchen and I'd go out where I'd meet Dad. And he'd walk me to my car and he'd say, "Now, Kath, remember, it's only a game." And he'd say, "Be nice to the opposition." And I remember one match in particular, he said to me, we were playing a team from the north, he said, "Remember now, Kath, they'll have all slept in a strange bed last night. They'll probably be homesick, and they won't have had a great breakfast. So," he said, "be kind to them and make sure you bring them up for tea afterwards." So I go up to my hockey match with these two opposing kind of messages in my mind, and I think that's probably why I didn't become a world-class hockey player, because my backroom staff were a little bit confused in the messages. I think from that, my mum often struggles with my need to run marathons and triathlons and things like that, but it's that determination, that gritty kind of desire to succeed in things that I got from my mother, which is, I think, the reason why I do it. So it's really her fault. And, from my dad, I've got a tremendous love of sport, and just being able to take part in sport and to appreciate how important it is to be just taking part in a game and to be making friends and so on and so on. And I think the other thing my parents gave me was a huge amount of patience and support and encouragement. And I was thinking about my mother, who used to bring me to Irish dancing feshes. And I'm not sure if anybody here has ever been to an Irish dancing fesh, but it's the most unbelievable experience you could ever have, where you could be there for 10 hours, and you just sit and you watch each dancer come out and dance and then sit down, the next dancer dance and sit down, the next dancer dance and sit down. And my mum would sit there for up to 10 hours just watching this and never complaining. And then when I gave that up, she used to come to all my hockey matches and to stand there. Now, I did have to face a match of the day kind of analysis every single Saturday night about what I had done wrong and what we should have done in the team, but it was that constant support and encouragement that I got from her. And from my dad, I got acquired her support. And there was one day we were driving along, and as most of you know, I'm a little bit of a lead foot, so we're probably driving too fast in 4th gear, and we're coming to traffic lights, and I knew I had to slow down. And I went from very fast kind of speed in 4th gear to 1st gear, all in one go. And the engine made a terrible racing noise, and I thought, oh God, he's going to say something now. So I didn't look at him, I kept looking straight ahead. And after about 4 seconds he said, "Now, Kath, do you understand what happened there?" And I said, "Well, yes, Dad, I changed from 4th to 1st all in one go." And he said, "Yes. Don't think we'll do that again." And that was it. There was nothing more. Growing up, obviously, I grew up with my brothers Nigel and David. And I think growing up we probably had probably quite an un-Quakery house, and that there was quite a lot of violence. And being the only girl, there was a lot of kicking and pucking and mucking and all this kind of stuff. But I'm so glad to say that we've well grown out of those stages, and I'm very proud to say I have two amazing brothers who've been so supportive in the run-up to today, so I want to thank them sincerely for that. So I just want to move on and just talk a little bit about Conor. You'll be glad to know I've got to the main event.
Hey!
And in the Catherine Bell School of Dating, the first time you meet a guy, what you do is you check out his shoes. I always feel you can tell an awful lot about a person by his shoes. And I'm embarrassed to say I can't remember what shoes Conor was wearing the first time I met him, but they were suitable enough to say that when he said, you know, will we meet again, I said, yes, that's fine. So things were going well with Conor. His shoes were right, his friends were right, his parents were lovely, his brothers were lovely. So it really made me really start looking at Conor and thinking, you know, could this be the one? And we were driving up from June and Dave's wedding a couple of years ago, and we were in the car with another friend of mine, Maria, who's not here today, and we got to talking about what's important at a wedding. And me and Maria were saying, well, you know, the flowers are pretty important in the dress, and this, that and the other. And almost as an afterthought, I turned to Conor and I said, Conor, what's the most important thing for you at a wedding? And I'll never forget this. He was driving, he turned around and he eyeballed me and he said, well, it's love, Catherine. And I remember at that time thinking, do you know what, this guy is pretty special. I need to hold on to him. And I'm hoping that Conor's feeling the love today, not only from myself, but I'm hoping he's feeling the love from everybody that I'm feeling in the room. And Conor's taught me so much about love, and Conor's love is, it's reliable, it's consistent, it's honest, and it's encouraging. And I live my life at a very frenetic pace, and Conor's the glue that kind of keeps me together. He keeps me fed and watered, and he keeps me supported, and he keeps on encouraging me, and that's the reason I love him, for a lot of other reasons for that one. And my mum's only ever given me one piece of advice when it comes to meeting somebody. She said, make sure he's kind. And I remember when I told my mum I'd met this person, the first thing she said to me, is he kind? And without a doubt I could say definitely. And I just want to finish up by telling you a bit about Valentine's Day just gone. For most people, Valentine's Day, it's very, it's a very romantic day and so on, and it involves chocolates and wine and dinner and stuff, flowers and the whole thing. But last Valentine's Day, I was working late and I was meeting Dad here. We had to come down to the chat down here, and I had a badminton match at 8 o'clock. So I knew the kind of crossover time was quite limited, and I also had to make a plate of sandwiches for the badminton match. So Conor rang me at 6 and he said, listen, how are things going? I said, grand, I'll be home shortly now, I'm going to have the dinner, make the sandwiches, I'll be back out the door then. So I got home and Conor had made me my dinner. So it was now 6:30. I said, oh Conor, thanks so much, that's great, I'll make the sandwiches. No, sure, I have the sandwiches made for you. And then, just to top it off, I was running out the door, he said, Catherine, you haven't had a cup of tea, here's a cup of tea to take with you. And I went out the door and I thought, you know what, take your chocolates and your wine and your champagne. Conor's the man for me, the man he's my consistent supporter, and I love him for that, and I want to thank him for marrying me today. So thank you very much.